When people think of Morgan Freeman, they imagine calm wisdom, a powerful voice, and a presence that commands respect. To the world, he represents success, legendary performances, and an almost timeless authority in film. Yet behind that composed smile and unforgettable voice lies a journey filled with struggle, rejection, and perseverance. His life was not built on quick success or easy opportunity. Instead, it was shaped by decades of hardship, patience, and determination. Before the awards and iconic roles, Freeman endured challenges that would have broken many others. His story is not just about fame, it is about resilience, sacrifice, and the quiet strength required to pursue a dream against overwhelming odds. A childhood born into hardship. Morgan Freeman was born in 1937 in Mississippi during a time when segregation and poverty defined daily life for many African Americans. Opportunity was scarce, and expectations were painfully low for a young black boy growing up in the American South. His childhood was far from stable. His family struggled financially, forcing frequent moves as his parents searched for work. Sometimes he lived with relatives, sometimes in cramped homes with limited resources. These experiences shaped his early understanding of the world. Instead of security and certainty, Freeman grew up learning resilience. From an early age, he realized that life would not easily hand him the opportunities he would later fight so hard to earn. Learning to observe the world, Freeman's constant movement during childhood had an unexpected effect. Because he never stayed in one place for long, he developed a habit of watching people closely. He observed their emotions, their behavior, and the subtle ways people communicated without words. This quiet observation became one of his greatest strengths later in life. Acting requires deep understanding of human nature, and Freeman unknowingly began studying it as a child. While other children played carefree games, he was learning to read the world around him. These early experiences slowly built the emotional intelligence that would eventually define his acting style and help him create some of the most memorable performances in cinema. Discovering the stage, Freeman first discovered acting while attending school. The stage was small, the audience modest, but the impact on him was profound. For the first time, he experienced a sense of freedom that everyday life rarely offered. Acting allowed him to transform into someone else, to escape the limitations placed on him by society. On stage, he wasn't defined by poverty or prejudice. He could become anyone. This realization sparked a dream that quietly grew inside him. However, pursuing acting was not seen as practical or realistic for someone in his circumstances. People around him treated the dream as fantasy, encouraging him instead to choose a more stable and acceptable career path. Facing the reality of racism, growing up in a segregated America meant that Freeman constantly encountered barriers others never had to face. Racism shaped where he could go, how people treated him, and what opportunities were available. The entertainment industry at the time offered very few meaningful roles for black actors. When Freeman shared his dream of becoming an actor, he was often met with disbelief or dismissal. Many people told him the industry would never accept someone like him. Yet these doubts did not extinguish his ambition. Instead, they strengthened his determination. He began to understand that if he truly wanted to succeed, he would have to fight harder than most people ever imagined, choosing survival over dreams. As Freeman grew older, reality forced difficult choices. His family could not afford acting school or professional training. Financial stability became more urgent than artistic ambition. Eventually, he decided to enlist in the United States Air Force. The decision seemed practical and responsible. Military service offered structure, income, and a clear future. Yet while serving, Freeman realized something was missing. The discipline and duty of military life did not fulfill the passion that had once ignited inside him. Deep down, he knew he was living someone else's story, rather than his own. That realization would eventually push him to take a risk few others would dare to take. Walking away to follow a dream, Leaving the military was not an easy decision. Freeman stepped away from a stable career with no guarantee of success waiting for him. All he had was determination and a dream that refused to fade. With limited money and no powerful connections, he began pursuing acting seriously. The journey was incredibly difficult. Hollywood did not welcome him with open arms. Instead, he spent years performing in small theater productions, taking minor roles and working low-paying jobs simply to survive. Some days were filled with uncertainty about whether he would even be able to afford basic necessities. Yet despite every obstacle, Freeman refused to abandon his dream. Decades in the shadows. Unlike many actors who achieve recognition early, Freeman spent decades struggling in relative obscurity. His talent was undeniable, but opportunities remained limited. He continued working in theater, television, and small film roles while waiting for the moment when someone in Hollywood would truly notice him. Years passed, then more years. Many people would have given up under such circumstances. But Freeman possessed extraordinary patience. He believed that persistence would eventually open the right door. While the world overlooked him, he continued sharpening his craft. Those years in the shadows quietly prepared him for the powerful performances that would later define his career. The long-awaited breakthrough, Freeman's breakthrough, finally arrived later in life, proving that success does not always follow society's timeline. Once Hollywood recognized his talent, the world quickly realized what it had been missing. His deep voice, emotional depth, and commanding presence made him unforgettable on screen. Films like Driving Miss Daisy, The Shawshank Redemption, and $1 Million Baby turned him into a cinematic legend. Audiences around the world connected with the authenticity he brought to every role. Yet even as fame arrived, Freeman never forgot the decades of struggle that came before it. Those difficult years shaped the wisdom and humility people admire in him today. A legacy of resilience. Today, Morgan Freeman stands as one of Hollywood's most respected figures. His journey reminds us that greatness does not always arrive quickly or easily. It often requires patience, courage, and the willingness to keep moving forward despite endless setbacks. Freeman's life proves that talent can survive years of rejection and that determination can outlast even the harshest obstacles. He did not become a legend because life was easy for him. He became a legend because he never stopped believing in himself. His story continues to inspire generations, reminding us that perseverance can transform even the most difficult beginnings into extraordinary achievements. Conclusion: the man behind the legend. The world sees Morgan Freeman as a legendary actor with an iconic voice and unforgettable presence. But behind that image lies a story of perseverance that spans decades. He endured poverty, racism, rejection, and years of uncertainty before finally receiving the recognition he deserved. His life teaches a powerful lesson. Success is not defined by how quickly it arrives, but by the strength required to pursue it. Freeman's journey is not only inspiring, it is deeply human. Long after the applause fades, his story will continue reminding people that resilience, patience, and unwavering belief can turn even the longest road into a remarkable legacy.